Hey, Don here. Okay, doing a live stream this evening. I've got a, just go straight to it. On the endoscope here, I've got a, let's show you what it is. Okay, so there's a circuit board that I need to put a wire back on it. Well, where's the, I found me a tool. Pointy thingy. It's pretty cool. I forgot what that was for. But it's got that on one end and a nice little point on the other. Doesn't look so small there, but anyway, I was, this one here, I'm gonna put some hot glue. If that's the one that's still on there, yeah, and then the other one came off. I have two of these. I just opened it up to try to figure out a way to, let me show you. Okay, these things are, plug them in the wall, and they're inductive, I think they call it inductive charging, wireless charging. And the cool thing about these is you can turn them that far, either way, to get them lined up the way you want. They go like, oh, okay. It's kind of weird. It stops there, and then you go back around. It stops there. I was thinking it would stop there. But anyway, of course, if you go too far, it falls out. So that's the problem. You know, this one might be a little tighter than the other one. I didn't notice that. That other one is really, I think this one is tighter. The turning of the plug. And anyway, it needs to be kind of on an angle. I'll show it to you kind of like that way. So let's say it was on an angle. I have to turn that to make me figure it out. It doesn't matter if that part's turned, just to show it. So it's, you know, kind of an angle like that. And so that you can go, because directly above the wall outlet there is a 3-gang plug that I installed. I installed all of it. I put in a ceiling exhaust, you know, a heater and an exhaust fan in the bathroom years ago. And so, but I need nightlight. So I had to, the other one I had before, it just, you know, you could either plug it in like this or like this. It wouldn't, well, its charger didn't come off. It actually flipped, the plug flipped into it. But I had to plug it, if you plug it in the plug, you know, one of them's used for the hair dryer, and that needs to be clear, and then the top one is the one that I'm having to plug it into. Well, this is right up in front of the bottom switch, you know, in the way. But since you can turn it, and you can get it out of the way, so that's been a good thing. And but the other one, I didn't realize this one was not as loose as that one. I don't think it is. I may be able to just put this one in the place of that one. I can just swap them. But I opened it up, so it's good. And you can't show it right now. Well, I'll show you the a different light. Let's see, how can I do this? I don't think you'll be able to tell much like that, but trying to find something. Okay, shine it on my shirt, I guess. Yeah, here we go. So I've got a bright light right here, so it's not really on, so that I can for my endoscope. But well, I don't want to mess up my eyes. My eyes don't adjust very quick. Well, I'm not going to turn it towards myself because of the. Let's see. Can you tell? Okay, yeah, that's not as bright, and that one flashes. I don't know what that's good for, but to drive you crazy when you're trying to turn it off. If you're in the dark, it blinds you when it does that. Because when you get it to, it's just like a circle. You know, you just same button, push, 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 runs in a round robin circle. And so when it's off like that, and you plug it in, if it's dark enough in the room, then it will. This whole area here will light up. So this thing is. You know, there are LEDs in there, and this thing is not so bright, and it doesn't blind you. I mean, it's bright enough when you get out of bed and go into the bathroom. It kind of, well, actually, I'm keeping one in my room and one in there, and I keep one kind of down low, way down below the mattress and at the head of my bed. That's just where place to plug it in, the best place I could find. So it doesn't, well, I just so happens I have a bunch of pillows, and so the pillows keep the light from coming up in my face the way I lay them when I go to sleep. I have a bunch to lean on, you know, like that, but then when I go to sleep, I only use two or three. So the other three are laid all out beside me, this side and that side. So anyway, but there is, okay, so it's not blind to me. So I wanted to, I got this one out to, I may have to use it to figure out for sure where the wire goes, because I just took it, I just opened it up. Let me get back on the endoscope now. I opened it up this afternoon. There's the other one. And, well, I can kind of show what the light does more now. That's low, so you can hardly see it. Well, I've got, like I said, I've got a light on. But, anyway, I'll show more of that later. But, figure out where to put that so nothing happens to it. And there's the charger for that one. So here's the inside of that. It's nothing to see there, really. Let's see if this tells us anything. Yeah, if I can get that turned the right way, be able to read it here. So it's yeah, inductive charging light, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 0.9 watts, model number Intertech, because it's made in China. Eco light. They always got to, everything's got to be eco or green. Bunch of crap. Okay, so marketing BS. So now I had this out. Whoa, and I've already figured out those wires aren't strong, because one of them I don't even know when it happened, but this is a coil here. This light is not really in a good place for me to be able to, is that better? Oh, I see, yeah, well that's okay. That might be better. So this coil was hanging on these wires, and they just, you know, left some extra length of the coil to and soldered it to the board. I didn't even notice that's how it was done until one of them broke off. This one had some glue on it there, but it didn't stick to it, and it's been hanging on. But I'm looking up there to see if I can tell that whether it looks like it's going to fixing to break. See if that would let me see it any closer. And it actually does help a little. I don't know why the lines are showing up in the video. It must be this light that I've never used this endoscope on this light before, but it sure does. It actually helps a lot, being able to see things. I still can't tell really, but it hasn't broke off, so I'm going to put a dollop of whoa, I need to get down there and do it. It's the problem. Okay, yeah, that, well, that tracer is, as long as I can't glue it to that tracer if it's going to make contact, that's the thing. I guess what I should do is, to be safe, is to, I was going to lay it on there and then do it, but you ain't getting reflections out of the, maybe the other one will actually be better. Let's see. Yeah, just getting reflections off the light. I don't know how I got it to work a while ago. There we go. You see, it's actually soldered to that little pad that's where those four things are, and then the rest of that, I believe that's covered by solder mask. But I can't see good enough to know for sure about anything. But those are the tracks, you know, of the board, and I just now hit me. Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not going to glue it right on that. I can see that a little better. I believe that I found where this other one goes, but I'm scared to open it up and mess the other one up. Let's see, where is it? There's one that has wire soldered, piece of wire in it, so I think that's where it broke off from. Is that it? I think it's the one that's close to, just happens to be laying close to. Yeah, I think I see it. I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, you can see it in the picture really good, can't you? I didn't look up there yet. So this one is the one I believe I need to solder it back to, because that's a piece of wire in there. And since I don't see good, this is actually a real trick for me. Earlier today when I was actually making a video with just the camera about it, and I knew nobody could see it, so I thought I might as well get the endoscope out. So I've got 2 videos already. Before this one, the camera automatically starts over after 4 gigabytes, I think it is. But what I want to do is try to get that one under some hot glue so that it doesn't break. I think it's okay. As much as I've been bending it around today, I was getting worried. But so first I want to put the hot glue on this one. I made that little mark in case it broke off, so I would know where it went. I was going to lay it down on the board, but I'm a little worried about the direction I'm thinking that it should go. I don't know where that needs to be in the case is what I'm wondering about now. There. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put a dollop of... Let's see if I get to where I can see it. I want to make sure it's not ready to break. I think it's okay. So if I encase it in hot glue, it should be okay. Should be alright. Then I'm going to try the soldering. And this is almost an empty thing of I don't know if okay, I'm just going to hit it and see what happens. There's nothing else that I have to solder in this area, so it doesn't matter if I get it over everything else. There we go. Yeah, as much as I want to touch it and move it, I'm not going to. Why do I want to move it? Oh, because I think it's not in the right place anymore. There's a air bubble, but I'm not going to worry about that either. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to put some more on the, right there. I'm going to end up having to trim some off, but that'll be all right. I think I'm going to have to unplug this thing. Let's put it back here again. Yeah, I need to unplug it. It doesn't want to stay is the thing. It's dropping wherever I set it down now. It heats up quicker than I thought. I plugged it in once and had to unplug it. Well, I wasn't ready to, ended up not being ready to make the video anyway, but I thought I was. Oh, screws are in that thing. Actually, I think I'll put that right there. What I was trying to do is, while this was cooling down, I thought I would... If I've got dots of hot glue all over my envelope, this is just an envelope with something in it. It's not a... Usually I have pieces of cardboard I can do that with, but... Let's see if that's... getting dry. Well, I can... If I try to wipe it off, it'll just give me more of a headache. I'll... Trying pretty slow. Okay, so let me get on the regular camera. Yeah, that should hold. I think I've got it around the... Yeah, I've got it all over. So now the close to the connection won't move. Won't have to worry about that. But that really should have been done some better way than that. It's not my fault I broke it. It's their fault. Alright, so here's the thing it came on. 3-in-1, 6 LED light, so on and so forth. I like them. They're just, I looked and looked and looked to find the kind I already knew because I had some different kind that, different brand. I still have one plugged in, and one of them, crazy thing, the light was bothering my mom's eyes at night where it was plugged in. I had it plugged in. I kept finding it unplugged, and I didn't know why, so I moved it to over where I'm putting this one. Well, that makes it shine out of the bathroom more, and so she said it was making her stumble, when she's walking by in the dark, blinding her. And her eyes, I'm sure, I don't even remember right this minute. I'm sure I've known my whole life. I'm sure her eyes are sensitive to light like mine are. That's where I got it, But, well, and she's 85, and I'm 65, so, we're changing rapidly, getting worse. But I'm cleaning my little thing here. The thing that I got the glue on. So anyway, she put it somewhere, but she couldn't remember where she put it, and she never did find it. So she said, well, you're going to have to get some more. So I got some. I knew that there were some that, would twist in the socket. So I don't know if I showed that. I think I showed it. Yeah, I showed it at the beginning here. The plug, you can turn it and aim it the way. The other ones, you either could plug them in this way or that way, and the plug folded in. The whole, it didn't come apart. This one has the wireless charging, inductive charging. I'm not going to get the plastic off of there right now. Okay, so let's see what we got going with this. Now, if I can, I think I bumped into this thing or something. There we go. That's going to be in my way. Where are we? Okay, so here's a little circuit board. I can't even, endoscopes are so hard to, you can't ever get them lined up the way you want. I don't even try anymore. But, yeah, I've got plenty of, I don't know if it's on the end there very thick. Kind of goes, this stuff always goes where it wants to. Oh yeah, it's good. So it's not touching the bare wire. Well, it's not, there is some kind of like plasticky stuff on it, hot glue stuff. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's not going to be in danger of connecting to any of the other. That was worrying me that, when I put it back in there, how am I going to know whether it's going to short out? So yeah, and it's, now you can't break it at the solder joint, So this one, I think, like I said, I think I showed that a minute ago. I think I've located where it goes right there. I don't know if it'll get clearer if I get closer or get worse. It's hard to hold still. Okay, it doesn't go on the pointy one, it goes on this one. Actually, there's an L and a minus right there. Did it get dirty or something? I could see it clearer earlier. That says L minus. I can't get it pointed at it. There it is, L minus. And over here, I forgot to show that, but it says, I think it says L plus. Yeah, there it is. You can still see it, L plus. So I'm pretty sure that's where it goes. And since that one just fell apart, and I was being careful, I thought, with it. But since it's solid wire, instead of stranded wire, that stuff always breaks way easier. So I think I will go ahead and open this one up to make sure that I have that figured out right. I don't want to short the thing out. But this time I'm not going to let the components dangle or anything like I did last time. So Where's my screwdriver? This endoscope has got glue everywhere, little trails of hot glue. Keep feeling it. I don't mind the little dogs, but those spider webs that it leaves behind kind of bug me. Okay, so I can move my light up. That's the first time I've used this like this. I can, you know, it only focuses correctly at a certain distance, but I can still, or you can bang into the camera. I knocked it loose from where I had it clamped. There. Oh, let's see, like that. Yeah, there we go. Just got to remember not to bang into it. See, if you get far enough to where you're not hitting it with, well, I got a really long screwdriver. My favorite screwdriver is really long, so that's part of it. I've got 2 screws in that little trail. I've got a hook, one of those big plastic coffee can lids. They're real good for holding screws and parts and stuff. And they're flexible, so you can, like if you have a bunch of screws in there, like I use them out in the garage, you know, I've got all kinds of, you know, medicine bottles and nut cans and everything under the sun with screws and nuts and bolts in them. And I can just pour them in that lid, and then when I'm done looking through them, I can squeeze it, and they'll pour it back into even a small medicine bottle. So I'm going to try to be more careful. Well, I didn't bust it opening it up. I busted it playing with it, you know, looking it over. So I think, anyway, this side deck's like I don't want to. Okay, let loose there. There. Oh, I see there's a couple of tabs there that I didn't know were there. Right there. Yep. Okay, so here's how it looks when it's not broke. Now let's see. And that, I think that winding is up under the board. I'm not going to pull it out this time. I see the wires going around, and oh, they're going over up in here. That's where they go, under the. Yeah, it's over there, and this is the part I didn't really want to do. I kind of got it apart before, and I really was going to have to try to figure out how to get it back together. But the winding is up under there. So this, oh, I see, the plastic is made to hold it. And I just yanked it all out on accident. See how it falls apart real easy as soon as you get the lid off of it. So, is that it's not a loose wire, is it? Look at that. Well, it broke, is it? Am I crazy? That wire's not hooked to anything. It's already broke. It seemed to have been working just fine. That's, oh, here we go. Is it because I can't see the wire? Yeah, it's because I can't see the wire. I see nothing when I look down there. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be. Whenever I, yep. I think I can see. That's the weirdest thing. And I just got new glasses. I've been wearing 125 magnifiers. These are 150. They're still not. It's just nothing there when I look there. So if I kept digging around at that, I could have broke it again. Broken this one. I don't want to break another one. I can't see good to solder little things, so I don't want to. Oh, I see. There's a little holder built made into this to hold that thing down. I thought it was just flying around in there, and that's why I was saying pretty poor design. But it's just a pretty poor handler here. I'm trying to get this back under there. There's a place for it to go. This falls out. Ah, I keep forgetting what happens when you do that. There we go. I see. Can you see it? Can I see it up there? I can't work like that. You know, I have to look at what I'm doing. There we go. See, I'm trying to get this. Oops. I didn't realize it was that tricky to mess with. Even, I didn't just now, I mean, just before I opened it up, I didn't realize that it was going to be quite this tricky to mess with. But I wasn't paying good enough attention, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't. I realized right away. Let's make sure those aren't broke. It all just comes apart on its own. You don't have to try to take it apart. Yeah, there we go. So we got our wires. They're not broke. That's the main thing right now. And then I'm trying to get... See, the other wires, the AC wire's coming through there, so if I try to pull the plug out so I can see what I'm doing, which is what I keep forgetting here, don't do that, because it all just, it pulls this circuit board, it pulls on the circuit board. So, I think there's 2 of these places for it to go. Yeah, there's one for each end of that winding. I guess it's called a choke. It may really be used as a part of the, it's the winding for the, there, I got it back in there. The winding for the AC to DC converter, there. That's how it belongs. Are my wires still okay? Yeah, my hands jump and let go and do all kinds of bad things. So I had no plans to get into the thing like this, It just came apart on me. And this one is doing. So, and I don't think there's a place for a screw to go through this board. It's just in there. I guess I could show the other one, but here's what's on the back side. I'm not going to flip it all the way. I'm trying to hold on to it for dear life to keep it from. It seems like maybe. Does it already fall apart again? It seems like maybe there's something under there that shouldn't be, and it's holding up too far. But I can't tell. I guess not. This is way trickier than I realized. I hadn't tried to put it back together yet because I broke a wire and then I decided I'd make a video well, I was already making a video, so I thought, well, I want to get the endoscope out and get all my cameras set up, and it took me all afternoon and evening. So, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't, you can see that those holes are smaller than the screws I took out. Actually, there was only 2 here and here. There's not one in there, so that doesn't go in. Screw doesn't go there. What I'm not sure about is that doesn't seem quite right there. Seems to me it should go on down. I don't know why it doesn't feel like there's wire. The wire goes under it, but that does not feel like what it is that's holding it up. It may be. I mean, maybe it goes through there. I don't want to break those off. They're probably stranded wires, but let's see. Let me now I've got to get the other one to see maybe if I can figure out how that really goes. Yeah, see, here's the AC coming in on the other one. And by the way, the ground lug has nothing on it. It's just there. Which doesn't matter in my house anyway. My house only has 2 wires, but it's an older house. But, that's really odd looking. Where's that? Oh, okay. Again, I couldn't see it, but that wire goes around and connects right there. Right there. Okay, so when you put it back together, this is what I'm not quite... That sits in there. See, this can turn, and there's detents, and it only goes that far. It's that. And it goes all the way back around, but there's one of those detents. But I guess where I'm stopping it, Yeah, there's only like 3 of them on there, and where I want to stop it is not on a detent, so it's always moving, you know, and if you let it keep on moving, one time it fell out, I bumped it, I really reached up to, you know, bring it back into position, and my hand jerked like they do a lot, and I knocked it out of there, and it hit the floor, and it just busted open, and it took me forever to get it back together. I'm talking about this part here, the light itself. Because there's nothing to hold it in there, you know. It's just inductive charging. There's a winding there, and well, you know, that might be what. I was wondering, you know, this is not like a big wall wart situation. Maybe that choke is really the inductive charging thing. I've seen them before, how they're made, because there's not one in the plug, you know, or anything. So that might be the other side of the inductive charging. I think you have to have 2 windings to make that magnetic field for that to work. So I looked into it several years ago now. I don't remember very much of it, when it was kind of the new big thing, you know. And I think it's cool. This is the first thing I've actually had that does that. I'm going to go pay for no iPhone, that's for sure. But I like Android. I don't like Windows or Mac, anything. I like Linux and Android. Android's built on Linux kernel, so I don't like the Linux ecosystem, and the user interface is a lot of it I don't want. I don't like touchscreens, is what I don't like. But I don't like I'm used to completely open source Linux since 2005. That's all I've really used. And I just can't stand the way they do the ads and all that crap in Android, driving you crazy. Anyway, get you back together somehow. I think I'm going to have to lift it up to see. Oh, okay. This is holding it up right here. I wonder if I have it off a little bit from its position or something. Don't think so. But you shouldn't have just one thing. That's the only thing, and it makes it look like it's upside down in there, because this would go by that. But I didn't take it out until just now. I haven't pulled it up and out of there, so. But what's weird about it is it makes it seem like it would. There's not a third wheel there. That just swings in the breeze. That's why I thought there was something wrong. Now we're getting it out of the place where it needs to be. I don't know, you know, I'm glad I opened it up now. I kept feeling like maybe I better. I didn't really want to. I was afraid I'd mess this one up. But yeah, see, that can't go that far. I know it was kind of like that. But that side gets held up too by this. I think it's by the choke and this bracket for the choke. But I really thought that it, sat down in there enough for this to be kind of level. This certainly doesn't. It ain't gonna do it. Now I see why, because of that other tab in there. I guess I better just try to put it back together. I still haven't inspected where those wires go. I got sidetracked on. I was trying to make sure I didn't get it too far apart, and then the first thing I did was, oh, now that's out of its place. There. Okay, now those go down. But now that side goes, I don't guess it does go down any more than this side. It seems like it does. Well, I'm going to trust that that's okay for now. And if I start trying to put it back together and it won't go together, then I'll know I messed up. What I want to know now is, are my wires still hooked up after all that? I can't see down in there. So the simplest little thing in my hands, turning into a nightmare now. It's so hard to deal with. It's hard to work with. But I'm not used to opening up electronics and everything just kind of flying out either. It's usually at least glued down, if not screwed, you know. It does have something to hold that choke. I thought the choke was just floating in the breeze because I had it out. You know, I had it out. It came apart. You know, it came out of there, and I wasn't expecting it to come apart. You know, and it did. So okay, there's one, and there's the other. That's the problem there, is you can't see. And these are so delicate, I don't want to tug on them to see if they're still connected. Okay, so let's look at the soldered connections. I'm going to get a little closer to see that. Yeah, there's L negative. See it? Okay, that's just a long drag over to it. But can I get it to where I can see it? Okay, there it is. L negative, and the wire's going under this other one. It's pretty stiff. It's solid core wire. There. Yep, that's where it goes. And then this one is same place. Okay. It's not soldered here. It's soldered up there. But you look at that. Gotta get the right distance where you can see it. It looks like it's gonna ground out right there. It could if it was shoved around a little bit. Hit that. I mean, assuming that's a ground. But even if it's hot, it could cause a problem. You know, it could run the circuit the wrong direction. That's poorly done. It's not just fumble finger me, but this one is still together, I think. That wire sure does seem. Okay, now I can see it in the video. That black thing is in the way. Trying to get an angle where I can see it good. Still in the way. Turn it up this way, maybe. Okay, there's one. Yeah, I don't want to break it trying to look at it, so I've got them under there, and I don't think I broke them, so if I can get it back together without messing it up, I'm going to get this one back together before it's too late. That one. Oh yeah, I do want to put some hot glue on that, I think, if I can. Let me look and see if I think I really need to. Oh, it's not as close as I thought. Yeah, it's not really to where it would hit it. Okay, I thought it was. I mean, it would be good to freeze them where they're at, I think. I'm going to. I'll have to plug it back in. I unplugged it because it was leaking everywhere. Okay, so let's get our, I've got another glue stick waiting to, it's time to put it in there, as a matter of fact. Get this other glue stick in the machine. Get it ready to go. Yep, that one's going off sideways. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now it should start. That one's there. When it starts heating up, yeah, it's gonna, I think it'll work. So if I just leave it like that, once it gets heated up again, I'm gonna drop a dollop on there. Put a dollop on there, and one on there. They're in good places. but I don't want them to end up getting moved, especially with, you know, me trying to get it back together and everything. That's an interesting little, I don't know if that's a IC, some kind of processor, or if it's just a timer. I don't think it can be seen. It's too close, I think, anyway. Light's really hard to get in the right place. I wonder what would happen if I... This light has a light. This camera has a light of its own, but I wasn't using it because the... Now I don't know which way is which. He can't tell that it's on. Oh, you kind of can. The light, you see, I've got this thing hanging from a light, you know, one of those arm lights, and yeah, it doesn't, but that's good. This light works way better. I've never actually worked like this before, and I love it. I'm going to always do it now. I don't think I can leave the endoscope's on a 15 or, but it's so cable. And it's real unwieldy, it's stiff, you know, but it's good because so you can shove it. It's made so you can shove it down a pipe or in a motor or something. That's what I bought it for, but I haven't done that with it. Made a lot of videos with it, but not with what I bought it for. So anyway, that thing, I could kind of see it a minute ago. Oh, there we go. I could see it a lot better looking through the magnifying glass as far as it has plus on one corner and minus, and then they look like kind of like sideways Z's. It doesn't have any, I think it does have an identification on it, but it's so faint. Yeah, there's some kind of like faded white letters that I just can't make out. BR10 maybe. Oh, there's like a logo or something above that. I believe it does. No, I think it says DR10. With me not being able to see good, it's kind of silly for me to... Okay, let's see if this is melting. Get this camera out of the way. So I want to... Stop banging the camera. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna... I thought it was heated up. I don't think it's heated up. Oh. Yeah, I think it's just not heated up yet. I'm just bending the other thing. I got it plugged in good. It usually starts up. Maybe it doesn't go as fast as I thought. The time was just going by quicker. I was doing stuff, you know. Yeah, it's plugged in. I'm gonna have to wait on it to heat up. Yeah, if I just keep trying it, just bending that up, the one that's still in there. Yeah. You don't have to squeeze real hard to get it to come out when it's working right. I know that much about it. Okay. I'm really wanting to get this one together and start working on the other one. But, because that one is the one I really think is going to be hard. But I want to get this together and make sure it's working. Oh, I can see the wire now. If I look this way, okay, it's still hooked up. What about the other one? Is it still okay? Wait. Oh, okay. There it is. Now the other one. Oh, that one's there. Okay. Well, I think they end up down at the same end. I thought one would be at one end and the other at the other. Okay, I think they're okay. I don't think I've broken those. So if I can just get some safety on this one. I mean, it would be okay. Where it is right now it would be okay, but I can see it moving. There's a big old point for this one to touch. It really ought to be kind of, well, you can't put it up that high and get the lid on it. But as long as I get it frozen in place with that glue, then it'll be all right. So maybe this will end up being a good thing and make them, you know, last longer. Almost saw some words there. Let's see if this thing has started working yet. When you're not ready for it, it's all going nuts, dripping everywhere. This is driving me crazy. I didn't ever expect that to take that long to heat up. I wonder, it seems like, I hope it's not stuck, you know, like when I turned it off a while ago, it kind of, you know, spread out in a way that it's not going through the machine properly. Could be. Seems like I've had to pull an old one out before. And oh, there we go. Now it's starting to work. Okay, let's just do it. I suppose I was just being impatient. When I first saw people doing this kind of thing, what I'm doing right now, I thought, well, that's a chintzy way to do it. I didn't realize that, you know, the old 80s, 60s and 70s and 80s electronics was done like this, but with much better material, you know, that lasts till now. The young people, they use what they got, you know. This is actually all right, but if you got some kind of electronics that gets hot, this stuff will just melt. But, and I used to didn't like to, you know, I would put it on something, then wanted it off, and it was terrible to get off. But yeah, how are we doing? Found out all you need is just rubbing alcohol. It dissolves instantly. That's another thing. If you clean the electronics that you put this on with alcohol, then it'll all just come off. But it's pretty easy to get off with the alcohol. But yeah, now, and the cool thing about it, or at least when it's new, it's clear, and you can see through it to see what's going on. It's too close, I think. There. I think that's plenty. Yeah, now it won't go down and let that, you know, touch either one of them. And they won't get broke so easy like what happened to the other one. Oh, that's always a good idea to touch it while it's still hot and wet. It's not hot to burn you, but my fingers are sticking to it. I've got two of these lids laying here. Which one is the one? Okay, this one. Yeah, I don't think it really matters, but would like to keep them original. All right, we got some on my fingers. That's still staying together. Put your finger on it. You gotta hold it together, or it will fly apart. Okay, that's the main thing that's gotta be in there. But then this plug needs to be in the right place too. Yeah, put it on the detent. Well, that's where the normal place is before you start adjusting it. And then this, you know, I think maybe that corner sets right on there. Kind of looking at the way these wires are and stuff. Yeah, I think that was so that when you put the, yeah, there's these little things there, ridges. I think maybe it's, like I said, it's not put together the best, that's for sure. Well, let's try slamming the lid on it and see what happens here. Look at it one more time. Yeah. I'm not going to mess with putting hot glue in there because I think I'll just get into a nightmare of the wires are still sticking out too far. There. I guess I'll do it like that. Okay. Okay, it does snap together, and that goes into its detent. Get a screw. I love the screwdriver, but it's kind of hard to use under the endoscope. But it's got a good magnet, and I'm just going to run it down to where it can't fall apart, because there's only, it's kind of, if it's in place, it's in, you know, it's not real tricky once I get it in place. Okay. I want to make sure this one works. I've been setting these things here and there. It doesn't really matter, but I really wanted to, I like to keep track of, when I have pairs of things, I like to know which one's which, and especially if one's broken, I don't want to mix them up. But, okay, so there it is, back together. And, so I was thinking, yeah, that's going to drip. I'm going to have to unplug it. I'll still need it again once I solder that, but I ain't got that far yet. So, unplug it. I need to plug this solder iron in. It'll take forever to heat up, too. Oh, I don't have the stand for it out. Gotta get it out. I think this is the one that goes with it, though. It was laying over to the left. I was wanting to plug it in and test it, but now I realize the soldering iron needs to be plugged in most of all. Oh, I think I kind of had an idea of how I could test it. This is a, see, my house only has two. The only thing that I've got with 3 prongs in it is, you know, power strips, and sometimes, like if it's straight into the wall, I have to use a ground lift. So I'm going to plug in the old soldering iron. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, you can't, I don't have that on. I've got a stand for my, I've got a couple things I forgot to get out. Okay. Let's get this glue gun out of the way. The cord's gonna hang up in this cord. We're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a fight that we don't need to have. Let's see. I don't know where to put it. Put it over here. I guess. No, yeah, put it over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to, this is the one that I'm fixing. Okay. Yeah, a couple of things I forgot to get out. I want to test this. Okay, we get this. Put that right there for now. And put the screwdriver. It keeps rolling around and everything. I don't need it just yet anyway. So I can shove this up this way. And I'll try to leave that where it is if I can. Okay, so I want to get the light came on. You can't touch them without turning them on. And they're so slick you can't hang on to them. That's one thing, and really, they really are. I mean, or at least I can't. Let's just put it that way. Oh, okay. Here's what I need. It's got a, I got one of these stands for the iron, and it's got a sponge you can wet, but I didn't wet it. I decided I've got something new I'm going to use this time. Anyway, I can set my soldering iron up there to get warm in that. And I got something new I've never had before. Oh, come on. Is that all I need out of there? Yep. I got me one of these things. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm putting it under the endoscope. This, it's a, you can just set it on your desk, and it's got a Brillo pad in there. But it's copper, you know, and you can clean your thing when it's hot. With the water pad, it does a good job. But it cools, those little old cheap soldering irons, I don't have a good soldering iron. It cools them off too much. So if you cool it off, if you clean it real good, then it takes another 5 or 10 minutes to heat back up to where you need it to be. So I'm gonna use that. I'll probably use some, I better do that now. What did I do with it? I have some sandpaper. Oh, there it is. I have some sandpaper for cleaning. Is it already hot? Probably. Let's see how bad it needs it. Let's get this here so that we don't drop any solder on our legs. We have shorts on today. We don't need solder on our legs. I was going to test that thing, but I have found 100 things that I need to do, and I feel like I need to do it now. Maybe it's clean. I try to always clean them before. It's clean enough. It's about, the soldering tip's about gone. Where'd it go? It's not that clean. See, I told you I couldn't see. It's going to be warm, I imagine. Very warm. Shit. Went right through there in an instant. So when I got glue on my thumb, that's not melted skin. Okay, well, let's do it this way then. Yes, look at that. Did you think it was not hot yet? You were wrong. This is still my best. I've got another one that's got a better chip, but it's a lot cooler than this one. It'll barely about half the solder I've got. So, and this one, actually, that bad spot there that's melted out, you know, kind of eroded away, it actually holds solder really good. So if you want some solder, you want the iron to hold some solder, you put it in that spot. It'll hold it and keep it melted until you want to use it. But then it'll also fall out and hit you on the leg too if you don't watch out. Now, I keep forgetting I'm just looking at it with my glasses. I keep forgetting I can look at it either with the magnifying glass or up there on the screen. I really have to look up high to look at it on the screen. The rest of it's still pretty dirty, but I'm not going to solder with that part of it, so I'll leave it like that. I'll use my little cleaner thing here. That's what you do, you stab it. There you go. Yeah, I think it pulled all that extra. So yeah, took all that extra soldering dust off of there. Okay, I don't know, it might have actually cleaned some of the part that wasn't, you know, that was black. A lot of that's pretty loose on there, you know that. Okay, I'm not sure which solder to use yet. Well, I may not need to add any. Hopefully I won't. All I really plan on doing is, because if I'd have to add solder, I'm not liable to end up getting too much, and these glue spots are really in the way, so I'm gonna get them off here. Yeah, okay. That thing got pretty dirty pretty quick. It's actually an envelope that I'm not planning on throwing away. It's something that I need. But I didn't want to go hunting a piece of cardboard or whatever out in the garage, so I just used it. Now, where's what I want? Okay, so I've got a power strip down here. So I'm going to get on camera 1 here after is that going to reach? Not if it's under the boot. There. I did keep it plugged in so that the battery won't run down. That should be on and ready to go. Let's find out. Yeah, power strip. Okay, so if I plug this in, it's not, oh, well, I'll try it. I don't know if it's going to work because it's so flat, you know. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, I think it'll still work. Let's try. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. I turned off, that turned off, but it just turned off my speakers is all it did. Okay, now let's see. This thing, see, it's charged up. Okay, I want to see if it's going to come on like it should. I may have to turn off too many lights to get it to come on. Yeah, it's not going to come on. It's not dark enough. I thought maybe up under there it'd be dark enough. I was going to plug it into the extension cord, and I realized, well, I'll have to get a ground lift, but I didn't even remember to get one, so I'm just going to hope that it works. We'll deal with it later if it doesn't. So, but that one's, you know, it's back together. This, it's falling everywhere. Everything is falling. Oh, it turned, how did that happen? It turned, well, at first it turned itself back on. It was kind of half on and half off. Okay, so let's get off of this bad cam here. Now, soldering iron, I think I felt heat over that area when I got near it. That whole spiral thing that I don't know if I actually showed it, but anyway, that holder, it's metal spiral that it sits in. It was, I felt the heat. I almost touched it. I almost really felt the heat. So this part here we don't need just yet. First we want to put together the trying to kind of lay it out the way I'm going to need it. Yeah, first we want to put together the broken wire here. Okay, now I think I better move that thing with the screws in it. I'm afraid I'll knock it off. So this one, into scope. Okay, I thought it looked awful off. What did I do? Well, for one thing, I raised it up real high. Okay, yeah, that's already getting it more in the right area. That's pretty good. Yeah, now this is the one I already put the stuff on it. I guess that was the first thing I did it in this video, I guess. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that's all nice and dry and it's held in place. There's some of those strings. Can't see them unless I look up in that. There's some more right there, but I don't hope that'll move far enough to get where it needs to go. Let's check that out before we just go willy-nilly into all this. Okay. See if we can line it up in the thing that it sits in. Yeah, see what I mean? That is just, that, it just doesn't make sense the way they've got that. Okay, oh, this goes, is this one backward? Now here's the holder for the deal. Okay. It kind of seems like this one's a mirror image of the other one. I'm not sure if it really is. Raise this up where I can let you see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so, oh, it goes like that. Okay. It's not a mirror image, it's just, oh, look, see, that goes under there. You would think it would go through there, right? But it goes there. Well, no, maybe not, since it twists so far. They might have thought that was a good idea, and then when they started putting them together, they found out it was catching the wires. I'm gonna guess. But, yeah, through the center would be good, I think. Don't think it, yeah, okay, there's the detent that you would probably want it in, but yeah, it's just so, wants to fall apart. That's all it does, wants to fall apart. But yeah, it doesn't catch. You know, you would think it would go down and be caught into place by that, but it don't do that because of that. I think they might have had a few different design changes along the way, and they said, screw it, that'll work. You want some screws in that to hold it down? Nah, don't worry about it. It's not going to jump out of there once you got it screwed together. It'll be fine. But I've got that to where it don't want to go back that way. I didn't have any, you see, it'd be fine. I just did it. So I'm following suit with the design flaws here. But yeah, that needs to go all the way back over there. I guess that's the way I'm going to have to get it over there. There we go. I think that'll work. Get it in there. I guess I better... No, I can't really. It's just going to be so fumbly. I've got to have it apart in order to just get to it and solder it. So this one's got to go this way. See, I took up a lot of slack, but if I had to, I could take out I think it'll just reach. If I had to, I can heat it up again if I have to. I don't want to put it in too much of a bind and break the wire off inside of there. But I could, if I had to, I could unwind a little bit. I may have to get, look at that and see. To get another, there's not anything sticking out for me to, well, I better not cross those up. See, that's what's weird. I really was surprised that they both came off the same end. I've never seen I haven't seen, I've mostly seen power supply windings, you know, and microwaves and stuff, but see, they crisscross each other. It seems like if the insulation was to come off of there just a little bit, it would render the thing useless, you know, make it short itself out right there, and it wouldn't make it's a magnetic field anymore. Well, what do I know? I'm just a hacker. I'm not an engineer, I'm just a hack. Oh, there we go, I got it. So yeah, if I keep that one all the way up to there, then that would stop any of that stuff I was worrying about from happening. I mean, it's all around plastic, and there is a little bit of, I think there is, it's stuff on it. I think the stuff, it doesn't really look like it does have it. Doesn't look to me like there's any, I mean, it hasn't been sprayed or dipped, I know that. Now, there may be a very clear, you know, every winding I've ever saw had some shellac. I used to use shellac, you know, but then nowadays it comes pre-sealed, you know, with stuff on it. I don't know what they're using now, but there's a little piece of wire that broke. I'm not going to cut. Oh yeah, I think you can see that it's been stripped. Yeah, you can. I think you can see that it's been stripped. Yeah. Either that or that's just. Well, I don't know. That might just be where there's a little solder on it or something. But I didn't want to. Maybe I better clean it a little bit. I think I better clean that edge a little bit. It may have some leftover solder residue on it that won't be nice to solder. It won't work. I'm trying to get me a good pair of needle nose so that I won't. How do those look? Those are sure big grabbers. See if these are any different. Those are bigger, I think. Same or bigger. These are pointier, so I'm going to use this pair to try and clean that up a bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I think it's so small, I think all I can do is just lay it over there like that. Scrape it a little bit. Yeah, there's solder on there, I think. Be careful, I'll break it. Did I break it? Getting out from the camera. I'm trying to use the camera to see what I'm doing. There we go. Even if I could just get one side, that may be all I'm going to try to do, because if I bend it back the other way, I'm afraid I'll break it. It's already broke once. Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I think it's too risky. If it gets too short, I'll be in trouble. Like I said, I might be able to unwind another row without ruining it from working, but I don't know that. It could be that precisely wound from China. Could be. Actually, they are pretty good engineers, because they figure out all the most inventive ways of cutting corners and saving money. All these manufacturers do that, you know. They're masters at doing that stuff. Okay, so is that how far I want it? Do I want it a little closer? I really do like using this light stand. I always thought it'd be a good idea, but I had it mounted over on the back of my desk and it wouldn't reach. And I took it off. Well, I put a shelf in. I had to take it out because I put a shelf up above my old monitor, my 23-inch monitor, and I got my 43-inch 4K TV. That's what's my monitor now. Up above it, sitting on a shelf. I have a window there, so I really couldn't use the VESA mount. Unless I wanted to put boards across the window or something, you know, to give it a spot to mount. So I thought, well, I'll just set it on a shelf. It came with legs, you know. So anyway, what I'm looking at is right there. You can barely see the L1 on that. I think there's dirt on it or something. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's dirt on it. Make sure there's not a bunch of... I might throw a little... I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll throw a little flux on there. I don't know what all kind of dirt's gotten here and there and everywhere. What in the heck am I looking at over here? Oh, that's... I thought that was wires that were... I think that was... Yeah, that's just hot glue from me doing this over here. I thought those were wires for a minute that were going across, bridging the resistor, bridging to that resistor. That's the AC coming in, going through this. That must be, I wonder if that is actually what's doing the conversion. You know, they got a lot of chips like that now. That might be the only really thing other than those resistors that's converting it from 110 to, you know, 5 or whatever volts it's running on. DC. I'm not scraping it, I'm just very lightly. I think that's actually what this thing is for. One end has got that. I've used it, that's what I've been using it for. I don't remember where I got it or anything, but that solder mask, I think, no, it's just, I was trying to pick it up and blow it, but it's so easy to tear up. Okay, so, yeah, I really should have sent that wire. It should have been going that way. It should have been coming out across that way instead of the way I did it. I thought I had it figured out how it should be oriented, but I didn't. It will reach just, I think it'll just reach. So if I can get this one, I almost wonder if I should try and put it, no, I couldn't. Put it in its place. Put that thing on top of it that holds, oh, this is what goes on top of it. Let me, I'm going to try it for a second here, because if I can put it in its place, I'll know for sure that it's going to work, but also I won't screw up again, you know. Because it's really hard to keep the orientation straight in my head here. I need this. Well, since I had so much trouble lining the other one up, you know, to get that thing up under this connector, this hold down. I keep getting that from under the camera. There's that hole down there. That is where this needs to go. And oh, it won't go no further than right there. Okay. It hits that wall, that thing there. So if it goes there, and that needs to be out like that, that needs to be out like that. That wire needs to come out from under there. Insulation, it started moving again on me, but I think if I keep... Not even near it, am I? On the camera, I didn't realize. Why didn't you say something? Okay. You know, I keep moving it to get it where I can see what I'm doing. There, I'm trying to get it to go up under there. That was pretty tricky with the other one too. And it has to sit, the little hold down has to sit right on top of the black parts with the wires wrapped around, you know. It's really tricky to get in there. I think I've got, oh, no wonder I've got everything all out of whack here. You can't, it has to be in its right place. Doesn't matter where you put that thing if you don't have this where it'll sit down, you know. I can't get it to hold still. It keeps walking everywhere. I think I am going to have to solder that first, because there's no way I'm going to be able to pull that wire out. See, it's all walked out again. So I'm just going to have to solder it where on the spot where I know it goes. And not sure if I want to. Wish I had a way to make that stay sticking out like that. That's the thing. Okay. I think I need it to be kind of bent like that so that I don't solder it to the next thing. It's not that that wire's not flexible, but it's not tough enough for any wrangling. Yeah, like I've used this split thing. I have used it to hold a wire down to solder. I may do it again right now, but I need more hands than I got. I can see that already. Okay. Yeah. I may have to, yeah, I can try using the needle nose to, if I can get that hot, and then I guess I'll have to use, yeah, because that won't really keep holding on to it. Oh, I did it. That might be better than needle nose. I think I'm going to try it with that. If I can make it hit that while it's melted, then, and I can just see that there's a blob in the right place. See, I can't really, I don't think I can coordinate. I just can't coordinate well looking up at a screen. Let's see if, oh, that's hot. So let's use the side that doesn't suck up the solder as much. Oops. Now it doesn't want to do what I did a minute ago. Put it back until we get resituated again. I need one of those little vices. I don't solder too much because it's so hard for me to do it. I used to be pretty good at soldering. There. Oh, but you don't want it to go all the way across. Of course, you can always cut it. Yeah, I'm going to have to try to look at the screen because if I look at it, I can't see enough of anything to do it. Keeps hanging on my... Okay, yeah. Get it? I may have got it. Let me look at it with my magnifying glass. Can I see it better? I think it's in there. I don't know how much it's in there. Let's try bringing the old thing in closer. I don't know if it'll help work, but we'll try it. It's not falling off of there, so maybe I got it. Now I'm too close to focus. That's really as close as I can get. It looks to be there. And then if it pulls right off, I know I didn't get it. It's there. So now I'm going to hot glue that section. Actually, I think I better wait. Oh, it's not there. I think it might have broke off again. Well, I'll try it again. Okay, I didn't wick it or anything. Yeah, that wire wasn't hot. Why didn't I wick it a little bit? Let's try that. I'm gonna lose my screws if I don't watch out. Got stuff all over the place. So my solder is really kind of big. There is some. I think this will be good. I think this is the smallest one I have right here and the cleanest one. Some of these are really dirty on the ends. Been around a while. Okay, so I think I'll see if this will melt on the soldering iron first before I decide if I'm going to use it. Yeah, melts real fast. So let's see if we can wick that wire with it. Yeah, I should have done that already. I forgot. Yep. It almost looked like the end melted off the wire, but I don't think it would do that. Unless it broke off, maybe, and it's stuck in that solder on the iron. If I can just get it to kind of, yeah, I think I got it now. I have it wicked. Sure looks dirty, doesn't it? I've got all mixed different kinds of solder, but these smaller ones they're for electronics, but some are acid core. I'd prefer to use that. I think a lot of this stuff is that rosin core stuff that's acid free, and it's crap to use. Yeah, it needs cleaning. And that's where that thing falls off in the floor. Okay. At least I didn't stab myself with a hot iron. I get that cleaner. Let's see how it does. There was probably already crap on it before I even started. That looks really dirty. Maybe I can get it to stick to the iron. I don't think there's any more. Well, let's try a different solder. There is one solder I have that I think that's why there's still a roll of that. I just tried it because it was small diameter, and I didn't want one that overdid it. But I've got some actually Radio Shack solder that I know is for electronics, but I've had it since 70s or 80s, and can't really get it under the camera too good. But anyway, it's been my best one, and I guess you can really see, but yeah, it's big, and this one's a little smaller. It looks like it. I don't know which one is it now. This may be what I was just trying, but this may be all I have left of it. I still had, I don't know, a foot or a foot and a half of it. But now, boom, it's gone. But that's the one I've always had the best luck with electronics. So let's see if we can get some on there, not get it all over the board. Well, that melts good. Now let's see if it'll stick to that stuff. I think maybe it's starting to stick to it. Yeah, I got a little blob on there, so I'm going to leave that and clean this again, because I don't want to put a big blob on the, there's already enough solder on that pad. Still plenty of solder on there. Maybe this time I'll try to do it like that with my finger. Stay away from the side that might be full of solder. One side, it will dump, that side that has the pocket in it, it'll dump all that solder that's in it. Boy, that melted fast. Hold still. Let go. Okay, now. This soldering iron, it gets hot enough, and it stays hot. I think after an hour or two, it'll start cooling down again. It'll shut off, but it stays on a long time, so you can fiddle around and have trouble and still have a soldering iron that works. It's not going to focus. It's just a small thing. Well, it's in there again, and I haven't gotten any bridges or anything. Let's see if it'll withstand the tug test. I think this time I got it. That's what was wrong, is I just didn't wick that wire. Okay, I'm gonna say that's all right. So if I can get that in its place and put that back in that little case so I'll know that that's a good piece. Yeah, I used to have at least a foot left where you could, you know, do it like this. This is the kind of, you can't see none of that. Anyway, pull it out the end and all that stuff. That other is really, I think it's not any good for electronics. That other one I have, I think it's really for water pipe. Not sure, to be honest. But anyway, this is what I'm worried about now. Okay, let's pull you up high enough to see what we're doing. Is it too high? That's about right for now. So, yeah, see that little, this needs to sit right in there. And this holds it down. There's two of them. And it just kind of floats up, and the rest of it just kind of floats. It doesn't, see, that's just a round thing. It doesn't, that is what holds it up, that, and oh, I see, yeah. But there's nothing on this side. So it just really had me going in circles thinking, how does this thing supposed to really go back together? But, yeah, if I can get that all back together without breaking it, that's going to have to be bent somehow. How? Yeah, I guess it must not matter, or that's, they think that shielding on it is good enough that they won't short out. They're just ended them right there next to each other. I might be able to put a little hot glue on it if I can get it and keep them separate, make sure they don't go together. I'm sure it would stop it from doing its job if they go together, you know. But well, let me get this up here, I guess. Get the idea, get started on the idea of where I need to go. The other one, I ended up setting that tab right on top of that. There's a pad there, so I figured something was supposed to touch it. And it may actually be supposed to go. You see all this stuff flopping around, that's what broke it the first time. It may actually be supposed to go. No, I don't think it would go like that. I was going to say like that. I think it's supposed to be on top of there. But my real trick now is getting this thing I think that's how they do it, like that, but they don't, there's no screw to go in there. It doesn't come with a screw. But yeah, it doesn't want to bend the way that I was planning on. Oh, maybe if I turn it this way, if it'll reach from down here, it'll be all right. Because this wire does not want to bend that direction. And that'll kind of pull them apart from each other. I may have, hope I don't have so much hot glue on there that it won't, the lid won't shut. I have to cut some off or melt some off or something. Now, see, I was trying to have this is where they join right there, where they come off. I had this down here, and this one just wasn't cooperating. Well, that ain't gonna work anyway, I don't think. It's wires in the way of the thing that's supposed to hold it. But let's don't give up yet, because maybe it can go kind of like that. And this one really needs to be below it or above it. I think it's gonna have to be, let's try below, because I think above will go back to that, trying to short it out. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that kind of unwrapped it a little more, but I don't think that's a big deal. Just a little bit. For all I know, you could unwrap it 3 or 4 times without messing anything up. And for all I know, it's fixing to break if I don't stay in. I need to get that. Well, the thing is if If I hot glue it down in the wrong place again, I'm really going to have a fight getting it together. But if I don't hot glue it down, it may break again. So what do you think? I think I better plug in the hot glue gun. I think I'm going to leave the soldering gun plugged in this time because in case I need it. I kind of didn't want to plug them in, you know, at the same time because it's a good extension, pretty good sized wire in the extension cord, but still, I didn't really want to overdo anything there. But at this point, I don't want to wait for either one of them to heat. I mean, I'm going to have to, hopefully the hot glue gun will be ready by the time I'm ready to use it this time. Wanted ladies with long tapery fingers to insert circuit boards into fiddly little doodads. I didn't make that up. That was an I Love Lucy episode, only it was getting to stuff cotton into little medicine bottles, and then they had another ad that said to pull the cotton out of the little medicine bottles. I've never forgot that. She was reading the one ad. Lucy was looking for a job. And if you don't know who I Love Lucy is, then you need to watch more late night TV. But anyway, Lucille Ball is her name. Lucy and Desi Arnaz, not Junior, the dad. Anyway, she's no longer with us, but her work is still there. Yeah, that one there, it's still hung on, but it's, you know, it's over there. I'm gonna have to make it go. I may just raise it up and stick some hot glue on is what I may do. We'll see. I'm beginning to get where maybe I can try and put this. It's just not really possible. Maybe I don't have the installation procedure down right. What if I was to put it together and then set it in there? That's how I'm trying to get it to go together. And I think they're both separated. I wonder if I could, well, no, I'm not gonna force something. I'm not gonna hot glue anything else until I get it in and I know it's where it needs to be. But now I can't see what it is. Okay, now I got them separated. That's one thing I was wanting to do. So if I can get it to set down like that without breaking anything, that's the trick right there. A little dab of hot glue would hold that, wouldn't it? I guess I could try it. What else am I gonna do? It's not, I mean, I said it was easy to get off with alcohol, but, you know, it's still some work. I don't see how I can set it down in there. That's why I was trying to set this down and then set this on top of it. And that's how I did the other one. That's what I'm going to have to do. But that's what I'm trying to end up with. Yeah, it kind of sets down right there. Okay. The plug doesn't make it. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's just the other side of it where it catches the flashlight. That makes it. You can't set it flat anywhere. I guess if I had something to set it on. Oh, I got something that I actually have a piece of wood that I have in my toolbox over there that if it was, the hole's not big enough, I can see by looking at those. If those went down in the hole, it would give me a place to make this sit flat. I mean, it will stand up until you start kind of filling around with everything. But I can't even figure out how to get, I guess I'll let that fly to start with, yeah. That doesn't need to be in place. It's that needs to go first. That's how I got it last time. I got that held down by that little deal there. And then I got the rest. What am I gonna... This one is even more tedious than the other one because the wires are in a new, they're not long enough. They're in a new situation. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna break it. You know what, I guess I'm gonna have to give up on that idea of flipping it that way. I need to flip it back the way it was to start with. Yeah. I had that in my head and forgotten that that was really just an experiment. See if that would be better. Yeah, and these parts, of course, there's nothing flat about any of that, so it just goes every which way. Can't lay it in there. It's definitely about the worst fitting electronics thing I've ever taken apart. You ever watch Big Clive, electronics guy? He's really, he could take anything apart, and he'll take scans of it and pictures. Or he calls them pictures. I guess they're pictures. I'm not sure he uses a camera or a scanner, but anyway, he always takes pictures of the circuit boards and blows them up into like an 8x10 or something like that, maybe even bigger. And then he puts it under his camera and shows you, you know, and he has good cameras. And he's an engineer or something. He really knows what he's doing. He's an English guy, or Scottish. He might be Scottish. But anyway, he explains. Of course, it's all English, you know, electronics. So everything's 220. Like they got to start with 220 volts and then go down to 5 volts, you know, to get their electronics voltages. But it's all different. It's interesting, but you know, he'll get technical and it's fun to learn, but it's stuff that I can't really use, so I don't watch, you know, I'll watch a little bit and then I was like, well, that doesn't really apply to me. Sometimes I don't finish the whole video because just don't see being able to, I enjoy it. And it's really informative, but I don't see being able to use it. And then one day I'll move to Europe. But I thought I had it. Okay, I've got it under there. I don't know how I discovered him, but Big Clive. But you know, Davy Jones. He's in Australia, but he does a lot of you know. Well, he does 220 stuff, but I guess over there they use 110s more than they do in England. Anyway, he is like the best teacher I have ever, you know, seen anywhere, YouTube or anywhere. And but you got to have your mind open to soak that stuff up. But I've watched him for 10 years, I think. I haven't been watching him as much. Well, my mind doesn't absorb things like as well as it used to. I haven't been watching him like I used to. And I've got this, most of it in place. I think it's that piece of wire right there that's holding me off. I need to get this. I'm scared I'm going to break it. Gotta figure out where I want this to sit. See, if you just let anything slip, it all comes apart on you. It did too. The choke jumped back out of those things that hold it down. Just, but I'm glad I didn't put any glue on it until I got it in place. Okay, they're back on. It's back under there again, and this is still soldered. I'm just trying to get the circuit board there, right there. I guess I wasn't looking at what was holding it off. Just trying to get the circuit board back so that I can do something with this. I really wanted this under the circuit board, though. How did I not get that under there? That's why it's in the way. It's because it's not where I think it needs to be. Are you coming loose again? Too many things to hold together at once. Too many things to see at once. Okay. Can't let go of that. I'm trying to get this. You moved. Trying to get this to go down under here. There. But that all moved on me again. Got out from under the thing. The thing that held the thing got in the way. Okay, this needs to be... Yeah, this needs to be behind that foot, I think. And then I'd be all right. If I can do it without... There. That's what I'm trying to do now. But now, of course, it's back off of its spot. Completely. This is the hardest puzzle I've ever put together. I'm still kind of looking at my wire, and it's still there. Okay, is that underneath it? So don't take these things apart. Just leave them alone. If they work, don't mess with them. I was just wanting to, I'm not even going to do it now. I was wanting to see if I could put something under that to keep it from turning too easy. That's all I was opening it up for. And once I got it open, the instant I got it open, it came all apart. That's stuck in there. And I lost my thing again. I think it just, no, it was a wire. Okay. I thought I had broke the tab that holds it down for a minute. It just doesn't want to. Well, I'm not going to try to, the other one, I'm pretty sure I had it up on top of there, but I'm not going to worry about that. If I could just get it to go together at all. I think that's together now. Oh. Yeah, that's together. That is together. I think the, 'the, the, 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 way that this wire is in there, don't want it to get hung up in the, I just realized it might get hung up in the, that's not what I meant to do. Maybe I better go that way, because the AC wiring that's going to get spun around in there, when you turn this, if it gets hung on that, it's going to break it. Wait, is that a, that's a path right there. That's where it belongs. Or it could belong. Let's just say where it could belong. Yeah, there's a good little path for it to be in. Did I get it in there? I think I did. But I didn't get that in its place that time. Okay, now. Yeah. Okay. This is going through, I think, right through there. And there's another piece of plastic to keep it from getting bound up in the, can't really see it. Yeah, to keep it from getting bound, there it is, yeah. Keep it from getting bound up in the AC wire as it spins, because it spins with this plug. So, like that. Yeah. Now, that cannot be up against that, though. Can't have it short now. Oh, I did it again. It came apart. It's just so easy to fly apart. I'm starting to... Okay. I'm starting to get to work and get it back in there at least. So that stays there. This, what I was worried about is this right here. I think if I get a little closer, maybe I can tell. Yeah. This right here, we got to make sure it doesn't touch any of that stuff. And this insulation is kind of stiff. So it doesn't want to go where you want it to go. What I'm going to do, I get it in a good spot, I'm going to hot glue it. And it isn't actually touching anything right there, is it? Nope. It's a lot more distance in there than it looks like to me from just with my glasses. So I think if I hot glue it right there, and I think as long as I've tugged on that, if it'll stay, if it stayed that long, I'll say it's safe. So, and that's in its place. I don't believe those wires are crossed down there. But at this point, I'm gonna say that's it. Gotta get this without dropping the... Okay, so we're gonna hot glue that. And try not to hot glue our fingers or thumbs. Okay. Yeah, that's not touching anything. That's probably enough right there. And that should be okay like it is. I can't let go of it. Gotta keep it in its spot. Make sure it doesn't hot glue anything into the wrong place. I want to make sure I'll be able to... Oh, that went in that hole. I didn't even want it to go in that hole. Damn it. Went in there and it pulled it all apart again. Okay, stay. Okay. Okay, we're back. Now, this, it's right there next to that, but it's not, well, it's got more space than it looked like to me. But I think I pulled the, can't really tell. Yeah, I need to put a little more on that edge there. The wire's almost out of the hot glue. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it's kind of, I want to let that dry a little more so that I can Well, that's sticky. I think that's a good time to add a little more. Let's see. I just don't want to. I don't want to get it all over the thing that spins. That's the thing I was worried about. Okay. Got hot glue spider webs again. Let's see, what do we got now? Yeah, that should be all right. Still didn't go as much on the. It's so hard to tell. Hot glue's so clear, but I think it's all encased now. And I think, yeah, I think it's in there good enough. And it won't rub. I've got actually a lot more space than it looks like to me. Yeah, you can see there. It won't rub. So we just hold it till it gets, yeah, let's hold it till it gets dry enough. I want to let go of it. I'm tired of holding it. Ow, ow, ow. Let that finger, it was getting stiff. So that's good. I'm not going to tilt it up or do anything. I can see that it's good from here. Yeah. And I do believe my wires, there's no way I could really do a good job of hot gluing down in there. It's got that thing to hold it. They're definitely separated. I don't think they could touch. And of course, this is not something like in a car where it rattles around and vibrates and all that. So, you know, it's just going to stay plugged into the wall most of the time. Unless you decide to move it, you know, to a different plug or something. And since that's such a big bump right there, I'm going to leave it just like that. I think the other one I kind of made, try to get it here and here, but I think it's going to be safer to leave it like it is for this this bodge job here. Actually, the way they did that really wasn't. They needed to do something. They should have put some, that's what they use now is hot glue, you know. They should have put something to hold, or that white paste, you know, that's really lasts forever that they use in good electronics, something to hold that. The hot glue is cool because you can see through it. If this thing ever got hot, it would start melting, but I don't think it gets hot. Yeah, that pad, you can see that it used to have that board setting on it. You can see the crease, but I'm not moving it. Again. And I think there's just enough of the insulation in that hot, grabbed by the hot glue. I think some of it probably should have ran down in there. Not very much. Well, I just feel like I better leave good enough alone. Well enough alone. I want to put that there. I don't think it has to be there, but I think that's a safer way to get started. Well, it won't stay there, will it? And I'm not even going to stop I can't let go of this, so I'm not going to stop to unplug that stuff. Get that in that detent just for good measure, if I can. Can't hold it like that. Okay, so this needs to be did I get it? What's it holding up on? There. Okay. Yeah, that one still turns way easier than the other one. So what I think my fix can be is just to put this one in here, because I think it pretty well stands straight up the way I'm doing it. So I'm trying to find my screwdriver. So I don't think I'll have a problem with it. If I do, I'll put some duct tape on it or something. I don't know. Oh, that fell in, but upside down. I hope these both work after all this. Oh, and this screwdriver didn't come magnetized, but I always, any screwdriver that I need, that I want to be magnetized, I use the battery magnetizer method. I keep a piece of regular, well, not regular, yeah. Well, no, it's more like you'd see in an industrial place, like a car wash or something, like where I used to do maintenance on. But that's probably, I think that's where I saved that piece of wire from. But anyway, you wrap it. I usually just wrap it around like a good sized screwdriver. Wrap it around and around and around like that coil there, but leave it loose, and then leave it about 12 inches long, so that whatever battery you come to, it'll reach, and then just touch it to short it, and it creates a really strong, such a strong magnetic field that it magnetizes whatever you've got in the center of it. If it's steel, if it can be a magnet, the steel screwdriver can be magnetized. So yeah, it goes that way. It'll go a little further. Oh yeah, it'll go all the way up and down, so you can hang it that way, depending on which way your ground is. This could be eliminated. It doesn't do anything. I guess it helps stabilize it. And then I think it goes. I thought it went further. Hope I didn't get it together wrong. I don't think I had it together wrong. Okay, yeah, it'll go all the way like that. I hope I can't remember which way was. That might not have been the default place for it. Well, at least that's right for me. That's not as loose, I don't think. Yeah, it's still loose. Once you get it off the detent, and that's the thing, I have to keep it off the detent. Let me get this, go to the other camera so you can maybe see better. Yeah, oh no, that's not better. That's worse. Let's go back under here. Yeah, so see, that's straight up and down, I believe, for the way my plug is, if I remember right. And then it needs to go about like that. And it just kept on, working its way down, and then the thing will fall out. But it didn't used to go that far, I don't think. I may have changed that. Let's see, if you had a plug that went like that, then you would have that much. That way. You got that far. I swear they didn't go that far. It's going all the way upside down now, and it didn't used to do that. But it's not the same. I may have hit the wrong default detent, because it goes, I'm not going to worry about it as long as it works for me. It goes all the way around. It didn't used to do that. You don't want it upside down. It's not going to stay in there. I think I got this in the wrong place to start with. I suppose if I would have looked at the labels on there, there's an H and an arrow, a V and an arrow, and then there's one going around it. I was just trying to go by what I remembered, how my plug was in the bathroom. But anyway, you might be able to, I'm not taking it apart again unless it won't work at all for me. But I'm pretty certain that the power strip I have over there, the ground is on the bottom, and also the wall on the wall. Depending on you could put the plug in the upside down. I don't know that I've seen them both ways. So I don't know. I mean, how an electrician would do it when they build a house. When they first run a house, I don't remember how they do it. But of course, after having a house for 60 some odd years, things are going to be the way you did them the day you did it. Well, I did all right with the soldering. I was nervous about that because it was so small. But once I remembered to tin the wire, it stuck right away. So that was good. And so this is the one that I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll see. It may be tighter now. Yeah, that still wants to turn too easy right there. So this one I'll probably keep in here now. And let's look at the other one again. I went ahead and unplugged my soldering iron and my hot glue gun, so I have to clean that. Oh, it came right off. Good. I always forget about this thing. I keep it in my wiring kit. I made up I have a toolbox that I've set up as originally as an emergency. Well, I used to do sound for bands, and I would just carry different emergency cables, things you might need. You don't think you need, but you know you might, when you're not. Anyway, but then I started putting, soldering irons and connectors and things so that I could fix things at the show, because you'll get into that situation, especially when you're going to different places, But stuff breaks, But anyway, so this one is, okay, there's where I thought was, well, I did the same thing with this one. I set it up as, same way, yeah. I don't know if you can see yeah, you can kind of see those letters. Forget it, right? Anyway, I had it, now I can't get it to show up again. There, H there, and V there, and then there's an arrow going around. That wasn't all the way together. Okay, so yeah, that one's the one I'm putting in the bathroom, because it'll go to about like that and stay. I didn't realize one was looser than the other, well, this one was already this way before I took it apart and put it back together. It's just tighter. But I was opening it up, seeing if I could figure out, I was thinking of cutting out a paper gasket of a thing and putting it underneath that to make it tighter once you screw it together. This is doing the same thing. I remember whenever I got them, I thought, well, that just doesn't make sense. Why does it turn that way? If it, it had too much, it had the ability to go upside down, and that's useless. I bet if you put that in there different, there's one stop on it. It's right there. I don't know where the stop is actually, but let's say it was on that arrow, and then if you put this in here start at a different spot, I think maybe, see, it should, what makes sense to me is it should go this way to about right here, and it should go the other way to about right there. I think that they came put together wrong. Now, I think you could, I'm not going to take them apart because they're so hard to get everything together, but I think that it should go like that and no further, because that is the furthest you could turn it and have it. It won't stay. But I mean, like that, maybe if you, I don't know, you'd have to put some tape on it or something, and then you'd have to be clear tape. Like that. And then, see, that one should go the other way. That was the problem I had in the bathroom. I really wished I could go that way. Then it wouldn't be as much in the way, but I couldn't. Okay, so I put them back together the way they came. But that's really wrong. I see. This is, both of these came, the way they assembled this set, maybe, with people assembling these couldn't be assembled by a machine. That had to be assembled by people. That's too hard to do. But it should be so that, well, I suppose if your ground was on the top, let's see what would happen then. Well, that's completely upside down. But yeah, it does, okay, that might have been the way they considered it, but that's completely upside down. So if you start like that with the ground on the top, that stops where you would expect it to, so that it won't fall out. But then this is the way it'll go, like that. There must be some, I guess no matter what you do, it's going to do that. It's almost a 360 turn, I mean, it stops here, and then it comes back around to here. So there's only like that area right there where it won't go into that area. And you could take your plug out and turn it over if you really needed to. But I have not checked anything. Well, I'm getting audio still. I don't know if my stream went down. Well, I always make a backup video, so if my stream went down, I'll look at it in a minute. So, I would like to show, how can I do that? I don't think there's any way I can plug it in. I don't think I have a, I have this extension cord here, but I don't think I have a, let's go ahead and get on the regular camera. I don't think I have a ground left in here, or if I have one, yeah, this sometimes, you could, used to the old extension cords, instead of being pointy right there, it would be, I think that light's kind of, yeah, kind of washing it all out, isn't it? Moving that. Anyway, they used to actually be made so that you could plug one on the end, the one end one, and it, instead of being pointed where you can't do it, it was divoted where you could do it. I still have one or two old ones that you can do that to. But yeah, this one won't let you do that. Of course, you'd lose the whole side if you were going to leave it that way. But that's why I plugged it into that power strip over there a minute ago. I was trying to think. That is still a better place to do it, I guess, if I was going to try to get it to come on. I want to see them come on. Oh, here we go. Why don't I plug them in over there by my bed? Can I do that? Well, it'd be easier to do it here, I think. Let's see. Let's put this right here. I've already forgot which one I'm going to put where. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one for the bathroom. Okay, bathroom. And then the other one's for my room. So I didn't like when I accidentally turned off the power, but I realized I have a USB charger plugged in there, and that's going to. I think it's, well, it's not plugged. Okay, I think it's just going to this. See, I don't have my audio plugged in. I just. The phone is just running on the battery. It can do that for like hours, 5 hours, 6, 7 hours. Now the video, it won't go but about 20 minutes, maybe 30. Depends on how hard it's working, you know, but anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how hard it's working. But okay, so I wanted to show how the light actually looks, and I can do it with that other handheld camera, but it won't reach all the way over there anyway. Okay, so it's not, it didn't seem to mess anything up. Let's just see how my stream is going first before I do that. We'll get on the desktop and look at the stream. I left that open this whole time. Oh, it says good connection. Let's see if we hear ourselves talking. I can see that it's not, it needs to be reloaded. But it says it's good, but the video's not playing. 2 hours and 12 minutes, huh? That was a quick little job, wasn't it? But I was, since the video was reloading, still reloading, I always thought, well, that could be outdated, you know. Excellent connection might be from the last time it got something from the YouTube. To soak that stuff up. Like I said, if it did go down.
Soak that stuff up.
There we go. It says excellent, but it doesn't want to play good, does it? It played for a second and then now it's reloading again. Usually I pause to play. That I think you can probably depend on that, or maybe, probably maybe, or maybe if I would hit the play again, it would start working again. It's acting funny. I usually don't leave that open. I absolutely, completely forgot and left it open for all this time. It's usually though there we go, it's playing again, but it's still acting funky. I think what I need to do is close it. But look, it shows to be working, and it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work. I am making a backup video, 6.4 gigabyte. You can't go over 10 gigabyte. They won't take them, or they used to didn't. Let's go back to camera 1, I guess. That's what I'm fixing to do. Oh yeah, I need to get the, I gotta get over here to the light switch. I'll turn this light on so I can see what I'm doing. Oh. Raise it up to there. Oh, man. So we're going to get you, turn the light out, and then I can plug this in. Oops. That one hit the floor. Yeah, see, I've got it plugged into the charger so the battery won't run down, so I'm kind of limited as to where I can go. Okay, we're going to look at our Yeah, the last time it'd probably do it again, but when I plugged it in, it turns the power strip off. Oh, well, that won't work. You can't let it do that, can you? The only thing that it turned off that mattered was my speakers. Okay, I did it again. Shit. Sorry. Just pisses me off, that switch. Now, what did you do? Oh, lost video for some reason. I mean, it just rebooted. You know what? That may be where it's getting, oh, that is where it's getting power. But the battery's not run down. Well, let me get off of that. Yeah, smart aleck. The battery is, it's not been charged. It shouldn't have gone down. It's been plugged in all this time. Why did it go down? I think the charger I'm plugged into must not be any. Well, this is the one that should have kept up. That charger could have went bad because that's a aftermarket charger I've got it plugged into. But it's a 2-amp charger. The phone sometimes complains about me using that. Whoops. Let's see if it starts charging. I'm not going to try to get the phone back on video again. I'm just going to make sure it's going to be charging. But it shouldn't have been going down. So when I turned that off, there's an extension cord that goes from that power strip. I knew there was some reason why I might not want to do that, to this to right here. And I've got, you know, phones and other things plugged in to keep them charged. I can't tell if it's charging. Well, I'm not going to mess with it right now anymore than that. But something went wrong. That charger wasn't charging the phone. Don't know why. I put it in there specifically because it's more powerful and it'd charge it up faster. These are the other things that should be charged in, plugged in. I'm going to plug them in because, well, I'm thinking about it because I'll forget. Well, that's, if that turns green up there, you can't see it, but there's a flashlight, a weather radio flashlight. If that turns green, then we're good. Should be good. Yeah, that's the last thing on there. Oh, my speaker system is on and everything. Yeah, it turned green. Okay, so we should be good over there, but I don't know why. Unless this chart, well, it's working. It's green. It showed up green. Okay. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe it got yanked on and it wasn't plugged in good. But I'm going to leave. Now they're on the chargers that came with the phones. So now what other? If I knew where, I need to turn the light back on, don't I? That's an interesting way to make a video. I'm not trying to do an ASMR electronics video though. Okay. When I kept seeing that ASMR thing a few years ago now, I was like, what the heck is that? What are you talking about? And I clicked on one of them. I was kind of leery. I was like, what is it? You know? And it was just, you know, some girl whispering. I was like, what the heck? And I thought, okay, I'll give it a chance, and I'll listen to it for a little while. And it was kind of, you know, neat for a minute, and then it got kind of seemed creepy, and then it got boring, so I never looked at it anymore. I've 2 or 3 of them is all I've ever even spent 5 minutes on, you know. But I don't know who dreamed that up. Well, I mean, you've seen that in movies, I guess, but they didn't have a name. What does it even stand for? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Okay. Can't do that. That seemed the simplest thing to do. I can't move any of my power strips to try to plug into them. The extension cord's the best thing I got if I had a ground lift. I really wanted to show I still have one camera working, so I can use it to show it. But I wanted to, I just can't remember right now if I have I don't have very many ground lifts left. And I don't remember where I might have put one, an odd one that maybe I could get and use. And ground lifts are like a thing you really they're come at a premium. You know, you need to plug something in and you don't have a, you know, the only thing that, like I said, you either use a ground lift or a power strip, and to plug in a power strip you got to put a ground lift on it. So, but I did have one or two left. I don't really remember. I may have one in that electronics box over there still. I guess that's the quickest. It's here in this room. Let's look in there, because I think I might be able to. I got to pick up some stuff over here to get it, but get to it. I've got a charger. I'm getting my DeWalt. My DeWalt. Can't say. Oh, I'm dropping everything. I'm trying to hurry up and do this. My DeWalt impact, 1/4-inch impact. It's got, I had the charger plugged in. I forgot about it. It's been several days now. So whatever, it was charged, the battery was charged by now. And here's an old extension cord, but it doesn't have that kind of detent where you can plug something in the way I was talking about. Of course. Let's see, this needs to be. But yeah, I've got my, this is part of my emergency. This is where all my cables are. You can't see it, I know. Just talking. But I bought 2 brand new MIDI cables years ago, 20 years ago. Still haven't found, and they weren't the kind I thought they were, and I haven't been able to use them. I don't think it has a, I thought, well, the reason I bought them, I have, that guitar, you can see it in the picture, the V-Amp 2. It's a guitar effects, but you can also use it for vocals, and that's what I use it for. With this is not running through it, but it's just running straight to over the Wi-Fi, straight into the computer. I don't think I do have a, damn it. I really did mean to get one. Go find one. Doesn't look to me like I have one in here. I got some AC cables, but not with the ground lift. Yeah, that wouldn't plug into those. I thought, well, I could plug it into the thing. I found something I didn't know I had in there. Some point I stuck an RF, well, I can't think of what you call them, but anyway, where you hook a bunch of RF cables together. And I usually don't keep stuff like that in there. Okay, so this is, yeah, turning that power. I had a feeling, well, I did it once without thinking, and I thought, well, okay, I got away with it once, I'll try it again. But guess what? When you have a feeling, you usually ought to pay attention to it. Because I don't know where. I don't think there's one that I can rob anyway, even if I found one. I can't think of any way to plug it in without. I mean, I got another power strip down here, but I think it, well, it has my, I've got my sound stuff plugged in, but I'm not actually using it right now. It's really just there for backup tonight because I'm using the wireless mic. But it could go down at any time. Anyway, I didn't want to mess with that. Oh, I can't get to that. Yes, I can. I have a, if I can get it picked up without unplugging everything. It's just that it doesn't want to move very far. Yeah, I can unplug this. I've got, oh, if I can do it. Oh, I have a power brick from my scanner plugged into it. There we go. Now I can get to it. Or I am to it or something. Okay, now I have it's actually a three-way, but it's, well, before I, see, how do I do that? There's a way I can get that camera off of there real easy, and I forgot how you do it. Oh, yeah. It has a selfie, it's a built-in selfie stick. Okay, well, let me plug this in first. So this one is the one I'm going to put in the bathroom, right? Or did it already get mixed up? No, this is the one I'm going to keep in here now. This is the one that was in the bathroom. It moves too easy. This one here is the one, yeah, that moves stiff. Okay, I don't need this envelope there anymore. So, the one I'm going to stick in the bathroom, I'll test it first. Now, first I got to get my camera. Let's see, is everything to where I can do this? I think it is. Yeah. Just got to make sure I got enough cable. Where is that going? Oh, it's going over to the computer. This is USB straight into the computer. So, here we go. Now, I don't know if that'll stay connected enough. Yeah, it did it. Oh, I forgot you can put your hand over it. So, I'm going to turn the light out. Oh, it's coming on. So, if I turn the lights out in the room, you know, it'll look brighter, but that's what it does. And then when you, if the power were to go out, then it would switch to this one up here. See, when you pull it out, it does that. And so, then that's a little brighter. And for some reason, oh, and that one's less bright. Oh, it starts out on the same, it's the same as this, but it's in a different position on the switching, or the different number of, and then it starts that flashing. I really don't, I mean, if this was something you put in your car, I could understand the flashing, you know, for trying to flag somebody down or keep somebody from hitting your car in emergencies, but I don't know why. I mean, when you're in the dark and you're trying to get through that thing, you know, because it starts out like this. If you take it off of there, it starts out like that. And if you want to use the flashlight, you grab it, it does that. And then, okay, now you're done. You want to turn it off, well, it gets brighter. Then it gets dimmer. Then it starts flashing. And by this time, I'm looking at it, got it pointed at my face going, well, when is it going to turn off? You know? So, but it looks like it's charging because the light's coming on. So this is the one. Yeah, turn it off. And see if I can get this. Yeah, that's the one that I'm going to put in the bathroom. It was in my room. Okay, now this one, let's see. This is the one that I fixed, hopefully. So that was in the bathroom, the one that I broke and fixed. Okay, good. So I got the fix is good, I think. Yeah, because it wouldn't do that. That means the inductive charging is connecting. That was what I broke, you know, the lead going to the coil, the inducting charging coil. So it does that. That one looks a little brighter, seems like. Like that. Like that. Blinking, like that. Okay, now it's off. Yeah. Okay, so they both work. And this is the one, and see, when you pull it off there, you got a flashlight instantly. That's handy if you're in, I mean, it's supposed to be emergency light. So that's a good thing. Now, let's put you back in your spot. Yeah, this selfie stick is actually, I forgot I had it for a while, but it's actually pretty handy. You can just pull it out, because it has a quick mount for the the camera going onto the tripod. It has a quick mount, but I have cables that makes it fiddly to get it off of there. I have to, well, the USB cable. I can't just. I ended up hot gluing it to the back of the camera because it was starting. Well, it got to where it was ruining the connector. I had it strain relieved, but like I was using rubber bands or something. That didn't work good enough. So I just said, well, I just used what I just said, hot glue, to hook it to that. And now I can't reach that. I'm going to leave that off, I guess, for now. You never know. Like I said, you never know when something will quit working when you're doing a video or sound and video. So I want to make sure everything's still working. That I can't. With that, well, I made a whole video. I decided to just make a video, but these are new glasses. Just got them. They got delivered today, and they're wire glasses. And of course I had to work on them for a long time to get them. Actually, they turn out to be a good 1/4 inch on either side. I can set my old glasses on over these. I won't do it again now. I did it in that video. But yeah, even after all that bending and working on them, this side it's hurting. Didn't notice it till just now, but I don't know why it's really doing that. It could actually be. I worked and worked trying to get them even and straight and everything. It looks to me like this one's turning out more than this one. But this is the right side is the one that hurts. No, I think it is. Yeah, it's still. Oh. You can be broken if you don't watch out. I think I did make a difference that time. Feels like it. Okay, so this one. Yeah, that one's tight. This one goes in the bathroom. You can't keep them together like that. You can try, but it will just, you'll forget, you'll pick it up, it'll dump out of there. Oh, look, it made it do that. Oh, I did that. That is the most sensitive switch. And I get too big of a hurry. See, I went around twice trying to get it to turn off. I get in too big of a hurry. Okay, so just leave them sitting there, I guess. No, I'll put it right there. And then this one, yeah, I'll put this one over here to help me not forget. And grab it and put it in the, take it to the bathroom. Okay, now, I'm so used to that light being on, I'm like, what's wrong? There's not enough light. I don't like that showing there. All right, now I'm done knocking everything off. I was really debating because I spent over an hour making that video on and trying to adjust these glasses, and it wasn't that I was making a video. It's just that it took me so long to adjust the glasses. I already had the video out and ready to go. I just said, I'll just make a video on it. But I went blank. But now I'm good and tired because it's 2:14 a.m. That's as late. I haven't stayed up this late in maybe almost a month. I think I was doing good. But I really wanted that fixed after I broke it. Just fell, I wasn't planning on doing any big project. I just opened it. I mean, you should usually be able to open up any kind of electronics thing and look at it. Not those. Okay, so, well, I learned a lot about them, didn't I? So, I'm going to go. I am done. I'm done in all ways, worn out and finished. I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff, though, before I can go to bed. I even got more out over there just now. I did think of that, and I didn't want to disturb it. I was afraid I'd unplug my sound gear, and then I realized, oh, well, I'm not actually talking on the SM58. And I still got a good signal on that. I bet that's going to be run down pretty good. I've been running that for hours and hours. Let's see, 2, What we got on here now? 2:35. That's how long I've been on live. And then I did an hour-long video before that, so that's at least 3 hours and 30, 40 minutes, because it was like an hour and 10 or 15 minutes. All right, well, there we go. I did not expect to get into all that, but I'm glad I was able to straighten it out and fix it. And it's a good thing I hated to open that other one up, but I'm glad I did, because I made sure I knew how to put it back together. And I was right, I did figure it out right. It's just I can't see, even with all this magnification, I'm still not sure if I can see it right, And the other thing was, once I got into messing with this one, I realized, well, this one doesn't need any modification to work in the bathroom. I didn't realize one was loose and one was tight. So, I'm going to go put that in the bathroom and get something to eat and go to bed. All right. See you next time. Yes, I'm sure I want to stop the stream. I do need to wait for the audio because it's behind it a little bit.